Hello, this is Joe Pryor of the virtualrealestateteam.com in Oklahoma City, part of Redbud Realty and Associates. It's March 1st, 2012. It's 76 degrees outside here. I think we didn't have any winter at all. And so as it gets warmer, we start thinking about looking at real estate, especially if we want to invest in real estate in the Oklahoma City market. If you're an investor, you've seen some of my previous videos, one which I did, which is what are the advantages of a short sale versus a foreclosure. A short sale is when the owner still owns it, does a workout with the bank that takes less than what's owed on the property, and you can buy that at a good deal. A foreclosure is when nothing works, when it goes through the process, and sometimes houses have to do that, goes to sheriff's sale, anything past the first mortgage is taken out, and it's offered on the market again as a foreclosed property, what we call an REO, real estate owned. Today I want to just talk about the REO, the foreclosed property, and I want to really talk to you about some risks that you need to be aware of. I'm not saying that you shouldn't buy a foreclosed property, but I just want you to know what you're getting yourself into. For one thing, it may take a long time for that property to hit the market. I know of one lender right now that's been holding the properties off the market for 8 months, which means they may have been closed or foreclosed on over a year ago. Now what that means is that our gas companies after 1 year have the right to come and pull the gas meter. So if you go look at a foreclosed property and there is no gas meter, the first thing you ought to know is you've got to get a gas pressure check. And that gas pressure check is anywhere from $350 on up. I had a recent one that was $850 because there were problems. So this is an expense before you ever get started because none of the utilities are on and the gas companies will not turn on the gas until there is a proper gas pressure check, and that is sent to the county and the gas company, and then they will come out and do that. The next thing is you've got to get the utilities turned on, because even though these are as is, you want to get an inspection in the first 10 days. You want to find out if the problems are so big that you may want to pull out of it. Now, one thing that happens on foreclosed properties is they winterize them. What that means is they blow out the water out of all the lines with compressed air. It's just absolutely clean. They put a special antifreeze there, and that's called winterization. And so if you do inspections, you're responsible to de-winterize the property, and then after the inspection is over, to re-winterize the property. So right there we have $135 or more in expense that you also have to do after the gas pressure check. Then there's the cost of getting the utilities turned on in your name because the lenders are not doing this. It is your responsibility as the buyer. And then you've got to get an inspector for the whole house. That's typically going to be about $350. And then you're going to want to have an inspector to look for pest, typically termites. That's another $100. Now, before we even get to the possibility of a appraisal, we're out about $1,000. And then if you're an investor, typically that's going to cost $500 because they have to add an extra schedule in there because you are buying it as an investment property and they have to do a rental analysis of the area. So now here we are at $1,500, and this is without any extra money that you're going to be owing the lender, but this is money that you're really out already in cash. And so now the next problem that you need to be concerned with is clear title. This is when a lender has the right to convey that title over to you without any problems, any encumbrances, anything wrong. Well, the problem right now is, and this is not just a robo-signing issue or whatever, is that there's been so much activity by the lenders, even though maybe not as much in Oklahoma as in some of the bubble states, but some things happen sloppily from time to time, and even the attorneys that they hire, which I think are very, very good here locally, are really pressed for very little money to do a lot of work. And so very often there can be problems that are going to delay the closing 30 days, 120 days. So you need to show patience in that particular respect. So does this mean you shouldn't buy a foreclosure? Absolutely not. I am not saying that. But we have to look at everything in real estate right now as risk management, and we have to analyze that risk. So when you and I work together to buy something and we go to a short sale, the one thing we know is typically the person's still in the house, the utilities are on. So in July we can see if it's cool when it's hot outside, or in December if it's warm when it's cold outside. And so there's certain things that we can know about that house. So in a foreclosure, since we don't know anything, since everything's completely turned off, We know that number one, we're going to have expense, and then after that expense of, say, that $1,000 possibly, we may not want the house at that time, and that money is gone. So there's a little bit of risk involved there. So you and I will come up with a strategy. One of the things that we're going to do is we're going to price that into the offer that we do on the house. May mean that somebody else gets the contract, but that's okay. What we're trying to do is get something that on paper, when we do the numbers, that it gives you the return on investment that you like. So risk management is built into this. So if you are an investor in the Oklahoma City market, and I'm telling you, this is a great market to buy investment properties, then we're going to look at both these kinds of properties. This is the kind of advice that I'm going to give you if you are working with me. And this is the kind of advice that no matter who you work with or where you're located, you should demand of your realtor, because this is happening all the time and you need to know this up front. So give me a call or email me at joe@joepryor.com, and we'll put together a formula, a pattern, a plan that will get you some wealth and create some wealth by investing in real estate. So call me. I'm Joe Pryor, the virtualrealestateteam.com in Oklahoma City, where we deliver traditional real estate values at the speed of technology.